Have you ever looked around and wondered, what if everyone around me, everything I see, and even the universe itself are nothing more than simulations, except for me? What if you're the only real person, the only conscious entity in a vast, artificially constructed reality? It sounds crazy, but what if I told you that there's a legitimate chance that you're the only true being in a simulation? This is a question that cuts to the heart of the simulation theory. What if, in a simulated universe, you're the only real person and everyone else, the people, the animals, even the stars, are just part of an elaborate illusion? In this video, we're going to explore the stunning possibility that you could be the only genuine consciousness in a simulation. We'll take you through the mind-bending implications of this theory, unravel how we might even begin to test it, and explain why some of the most brilliant thinkers in the world believe this could very well be our reality. By the end, you'll look at your surroundings with fresh eyes, questioning everything from the nature of free will to the very meaning of existence. You won't just understand why this possibility is so compelling. You'll see how it reshapes everything we know about consciousness and reality itself. Stick with us as we dive deep into the mystery of the odds that you're the only real person in the simulation. The simulation theory has long been a topic of fascination and debate, popularized by philosophers like Bostrom and tech moguls like Elon Musk. The basic premise suggests that our universe, along with everything we perceive as real, is a simulated construct created by an advanced civilization. But what if the idea of a simulated universe goes even further? What if you are the only real conscious being in it, and everything else, from your friends to the stars above, is simply a part of an intricate illusion? To understand this notion, we need to consider the possibility that in a universe built on simulation, the programmers, whoever or whatever they may be, only need to generate enough simulated consciousnesses to make the simulation believable. They don't need to simulate everyone in it, just the ones you interact with. The more you think about this, the more unsettling it becomes. Are you the only true consciousness in this world? Or is everyone around you also real, just like you? This theory has been gaining traction, especially as we dive deeper into technology. We've seen exponential advancements in artificial intelligence, virtual reality, and even quantum computing. If these technologies continue to evolve at their current rate, it's not hard to imagine that future civilizations could create simulations that are indistinguishable from reality. But the real question remains, if they create a simulated world, how do they decide who gets to be real? Could you be the only person who isn't part of this simulation, or is everyone around you also real? In the next section, we'll dive into the challenges this idea presents. After all, if you're the only one who is conscious, how would that even work? Let's explore the implications and complexities of this theory. At first glance, the idea that you could be the only real person in a simulation sounds impossible. If this is a simulated reality, wouldn't everyone else be real too? After all, we perceive the world as full of people with their own thoughts, emotions, and lives. But here's the catch. In a simulation, it's not necessary for every single entity in the simulation to have its own consciousness. In fact, the vast majority of beings in a simulation could be nothing more than pre-programmed characters, like NPCs, non-playable characters in a video game. What would this mean for you? If you're the only conscious entity in the entire simulation, how does it feel to live in a world where everything else is an illusion? Every interaction, every experience would be with beings who are not truly alive. They might talk, act, and seem real, but they are simply part of the program. Does that make your experiences any less meaningful? Or does it change the very fabric of your existence? This is where things get fascinating. If you're truly the only real consciousness, what purpose does your life serve? Are you part of an experiment or a test? Could this simulation be designed to study your choices, your thoughts, or even your emotions? And if the rest of the world is just a projection, what does that say about the idea of free will? While it's impossible to definitively prove these theories right now, the concept of a solitary conscious observer in a simulated world opens up a sea of philosophical and existential questions. It challenges the very notion of reality and forces us to reconsider our understanding of life itself. In the next section, we'll dive deeper into these ideas and explore how this could work within the framework of the simulation theory. What if the simulation isn't just designed for you, but for the observer inside it? As we continue to explore the possibility that you could be the only real person in the simulation, it's essential to look at the idea through a psychological and philosophical lens. Could it be that your experiences, your thoughts, and your perceptions are part of a constructed reality? After all, we know that consciousness is a tricky thing to pin down. We often don't fully understand why we perceive the world the way we do. Could it be that your perception is being controlled? If we accept that you are the only real conscious entity, the next logical question is, what does that mean for the rest of the world? Could the universe and the people around you be entirely simulated to give the illusion of reality? This idea leads to a startling possibility that your reality is a kind of game where everything exists to serve your experience. Imagine walking through your day, fully convinced that the people around you are just like you. But then with a jolt, you realize they aren't. The cashier at the store, your neighbor, even your best friend, all of them could be part of the simulation, simply playing a role in your world. This might feel strange, but it also reveals the limits of our perception. If everything is simulated, what does that mean for the choices you make? Could you manipulate the simulation in the same way a video game character might? Could you hack the system to gain more control over your environment? What if you knew that you were the only one with true autonomy? These questions create a world of possibilities, and while we don't have definitive answers, the exploration itself is thrilling. In the next section, we'll explore a breakthrough moment in understanding this concept. Is it really possible to test if you are, in fact, the only real person in the simulation? The key moment in this exploration comes when we consider how we might prove or disprove the idea that we are the only real person in a simulation. If we were in a simulation, we would expect to find patterns, glitches, or other anomalies that don't fit with the laws of physics as we understand them. In fact, many theorists argue that there are already clues in our universe that point to the idea that we are living in a digital reality. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence is the idea of glitches in the matrix, those moments when reality seems to break down or loop in on itself. Have you ever experienced déjà vu, where a moment feels like it's happened before? Or noticed a strange, almost artificial pattern in the world around you? These could be the remnants of the simulation's code failing or recalibrating. Additionally, the concept of quantum mechanics offers another intriguing possibility. Some physicists argue that at the quantum level, particles behave in ways that suggest they are not real until they are observed, a phenomenon known as wave function collapse. Could this be a reflection of how the simulation functions? If only your consciousness renders the world around you, it might explain why things seem to appear and disappear based on your awareness. So how do we prove whether we're the only real person? The answer might not be clear yet, but these signs suggest that reality, as we experience it, may not be as solid and unchangeable as we think. As we've explored today, the concept of being the only real person in a simulation is both unsettling and fascinating. It challenges our perceptions of reality, existence, and free will. While we may never know for sure whether we are truly the only conscious being in a simulated world, the possibilities that arise from this theory are mind-expanding. We've seen how the idea connects to the larger framework of the simulation theory and how it opens up new questions about consciousness, autonomy, and the very nature of life. Whether or not we ever prove this theory, it forces us to reconsider what it means to be real and what role we play in the grand scheme of existence. What do you think? Are you the only real person in a simulated universe? Or is everyone around you just as real? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, check out our next video on the evidence of simulation theory. Thank you for watching.